with Michigan coming up with a win 30-10 against Fresno State in their season opener, but it was touch and go there. And I had to ask myself a couple of times, am I seeing things, or is Will Johnson getting torched by something called Jalen Moss? Because that's what was happening. 6 catches, 97 yards for the Fresno State Bulldog. And of course, yes, Will Johnson had the pick 6 to seal it, but let's be honest about this. As the defending national champs, you shouldn't be needing to seal a damn thing against Fresno State in the season opener. And you should probably have your head coach locked up for the rest of the year, if nothing else. And that's kind of where I want to have this conversation, start this conversation around Michigan as we talk about them getting the win, them keeping up their end, if you will, before they're supposed to host Texas in what is going to be a top 10 matchup that we're all looking forward to. And we've been looking forward to basically since the season ended, when both of those programs finished in the college football playoff. Michigan, of course, winning the national championship. Texas winning its first conference championship in over a decade and making its first trip to the college football playoff. And they looked the part. Meanwhile, Sherrone Moore, USA Today reported, is working without a contract, which I thought was kind of interesting as you're going to do the first game of the season. So according to USA Today, more than 7 months ago, after they hire him and they announced the deal that's going to be 5 years, worth about $6 million annually, he still hadn't signed a contract, like a formally, fully guaranteed, fully executed contract. And yet still they're working under a memorandum of understanding, or an MOU in the parlance of the legalese, that he signed back in January when it was be clear that he was going to be the next head coach at Michigan. And as USA Today reported, the document outlined some of the basic parameters of Moore's future deal, including salary figures and bonus provisions, but it lacks some of the specifics and legalese that often serves as the backbone of a coaching contract, such as the circumstances in which Moore, who is facing potential punishment from the NCAA as part of the investigation into an alleged sign-stealing operation, and could be fired for cause. That's an interesting way to look at this, because while the University of Michigan has the notice of allegations that they received a week ago about what they believe Michigan had done, along with sign stealing is not the crime here, advanced video scouting, lying about it, cheating, that's the crime here. And it looked, for all that we're watching against Michigan, Fresno State, that it looked like Fresno State was actually in a dogfight with a very good Michigan Wolverines program. And all the jokes were, where's Connor Stalions, right? I think even Maurice Clarett threw out a tweet out there that was Wolverine petting the photograph of Connor Stalions. And that's perfect because, Michigan is the Wolverines and Logan is a Wolverine, yada, yada, yada. But that's an interesting place to have this conversation, because if I'm the head coach of the University of Michigan, and while you might not care, I damn sure care, the first black head coach at the University of Michigan, I would like to see my contract fully executed. And to their credit, Michigan has told USA Today, hey, we're working on this with his representative, and we hope to have this thing resolved pretty quick, fast, in a hurry. Moore's agent told USA Today, no comment, right? They just did not respond to any of this. I think once you figure out what the NCAA thinks it has and what the NCAA thinks its punishment is going to be, then you are going to try to come up with a way to either refute this if you are Michigan, fight this over the course of 90 days, and then figure it out. But in limbo is Sherrone Moore, right? Like, we've already seen the NCAA give Jim Harbaugh a show cause for 4 years for lying about recruiting violations that amount to little to nothing. Like, it's not the recruiting violation so much as it is the lying about what you did and how you did it. And this is all around a Michigan football program that is 15-0 last year and is off to a 1-0 start in 2024 with this win against Fresno State. Again, it's 16-10, and Fresno State feels like they got a shot here at Michigan Stadium against a top 10 team. And this is with Davis Warren as a starting quarterback. Many folks inside of Michigan got word later this week that Alex Orji was not going to be the guy, but that it was Davis Warren. And some folks were like, hey, you might see some Alex Orji. Both ended up being correct here. Alex Orji didn't start the game, but it was very clear that they want to get him involved because his ability as a runner is just unparalleled. So much so that when they got into the red zone area, they let that dude throw the first TD pass. But it was clear to me that Davis Warren has Sherrone Moore and Kirk Campbell's confidence in running the offense. He got to throw the most passes. He played the most plays behind center. And frankly, it looked not unlike it might look if Cade McNamara was still the quarterback at Michigan. You're dinking, you're dumping, you're not pushing the ball down the field, but you are also putting Wink Martindale's defense in a position to go make some plays. That said, seeing Will Johnson, who is supposed to be the next Charles Woodson, get cooked like yesterday's brisket, getting fried like bacon in a skillet, it's not exactly what you want to see. Again, the pick six is there. I get it. He's athletic. He can make up for some of his mistakes. But when you got short, fast dudes that are able to twist you around and get by you, that's not what Charles Woodson would allow as the number one corner at the University of Michigan and at the top of Dane Bugler's NFL draft board at the Athletic. Like he's the best available in the 2025 draft ahead of guys like, I don't know, Carson Beck at Georgia for starters, right? Shedeur Sanders at Colorado, Travis Hunter at Colorado. We can keep going down the list here. I'm really interested to see how this continues to unfurl because Texas got to feel good about what they saw against Fresno State, especially for what they put on tape against Colorado State, which wasn't a lot. And they still put up 52 points in their win. The last thing I thought was interesting about this part of Michigan's offensive plan is we're still not getting what we said we should be getting from Donovan Edwards for the last 3 years. Like, it's a man that is on the cover of EA Sports' College Football 25, which is the most successful sports video game of the last decade, and continues to break records because we've been thirsty about this game for so long. And I'll need to underscore here, name, image, and likeness exists because this game went away. That is how powerful this game is. We were so overjoyed that the NCAA finally decided to relent on players making money from their name, image, and likeness that we just wanted to play this game. And what you got out of all of that is a fundamental shift in how college football teams are formed. You will pay the most money to get the best players now because this video game went away. And Edwards is one of the 3 players on the front of it. And he ain't the best tailback in his own tailback room right now. Like, I'm really looking at this going, how does Khalil Mullins not believe that he is RB1 after this game? He had 15 for 92. Donovan Edwards had 11 for 27. Donovan Edwards also didn't do damn near a damn thing in the regular season last year. All of the yards that he mostly accumulated were in the postseason, particularly against Washington National Championship game, which is great if you get to the national championship game. But as far as I'm concerned, 7 is supposed to be the engine that powers Michigan. He still might be, but he wasn't tonight. And I would want to know what that means for me if my last name is Mullins. Okay? That's not long and the short of that. Does this Michigan team feel like the kind that can beat Texas? Not to me. Not right now. And I thought that there would have been great reason to underestimate Texas, if you will, because they went into this first game without 2 of their 3 best tailbacks, and it did not matter. Jaden Blue, got it. Trey Wisner, got it. Quinn Ewers, got it. Silas Bolden looked good. Like, they got dudes on both sides of the ball. And again, they did what they're supposed to do to Colorado State. They shut them out, and they put up 52. That's what I wanted to see Michigan do against Fresno State. That's what you're supposed to do against a Mountain West team. That's what you're supposed to do when you have them at your stadium in a season opener. And certainly that's what you're supposed to do when it is your first opportunity as a head coach to lay down the law. Okay? That's what I would expect from them. I'm also looking at Texas has got to feel better about its quarterback situation than Michigan. Hello? Quinn Ewers is one thing, right? Davis Warren is one thing. But seeing Arch Manning get in there, get game, and look good is something else entirely. Okay? Arch Manning out there making playground throws to wide receivers for his first TD of the game. And everybody's over the moon about him getting in there, but it's not a guy that's out of place. Not even a little bit. Everybody at Texas feels like they know what they're doing. They know what they want to do. And because of that, I'm giving them an edge going into this weekend. Like this next weekend, it feels like it's Texas's to lose, and they could go up to Michigan and be the first team to beat them at Michigan Stadium since 2020. And that will really shake up the math for the top 25. Even now, I'm having to rethink my number 1 team based on what I saw from Ohio State, what I saw from Georgia. But I'm not having to rethink whether or not Texas is any good. I know Texas is good. Michigan, you still got something you got to show me. And while I'm not interested in doubting the kids, because the kids seem not to care. They go out and get W's. You get a W against Texas, we'll treat it that way, right? You'll beat a really good football team as far as I'm concerned. And that might be the best you got to show me until November 30th. Full stop, right? But the days of you being able to cakewalk through your non-conference schedule are definitely over. You're getting scared by Fresno State, and that's just not something that's supposed to happen to the defending national champion Michigan Wolverines. Let's take a look at the chat. Let's take a look at who is in here as we are 10 minutes in to our live show. If you got some good questions to ask, throw them in here. If you don't, that's all right. If I see something worth taking on, I'll take it on. Don't cuss in the chat. Children, read the chat. I don't get to cuss on the show. You don't get to cuss on the show. Until we see such a thing, let's keep it moving. Oregon is on fraud alert. They are. We all might be wrong about who Oregon is. Oregon needed to hold on. I repeat, hold on to beat Idaho. No, Idaho, Idaho. Look, they were a 45.5-point favorite going into this game. We expected Oregon to score at will. As a matter of fact, Ole Miss beat Furman 76-0. I watched Arkansas put 70 up on UAPB. I watched Tennessee beat the brakes off of Chattanooga. That's what I expected from a team that we all expect to be in the college football playoff and compete in the Big Ten championship game. That's not what we got. What we got was a fizzle from one of the best teams that money can buy, as everybody likes to throw around that term all of a sudden, like everybody ain't spending money on their players. But an Idaho team that wasn't bad last year. They were 9-4. For perspective, Chattanooga was 8-5. Now, did Idaho beat an FBS opponent last year? Yeah. It was Nevada. They beat Nevada 33-6. Nevada wasn't nobody. Nevada wasn't no good. And yet they showed up to Autzen and they gave the Oregon Ducks the what for and the how now. And all I've been hearing from Ducks fans is how I've been underestimated. I'm like, I got you ranked as number 4 team in the country. What are you talking about? Get out of here with that. You know what I'm saying? But when I'm looking at it, I see a Ducks team that led Idaho, the Vandals, 17-14 deep into the fourth quarter. And an Idaho team that damn near came up with a play to go get it if they don't throw a pick at the end. We're talking about them having an opportunity to make this a one-score game, maybe get the ball back, make something happen. I'm not sure what we're supposed to do with Oregon right now. Do we get to treat this like a fluke? Because we're not going to treat Clemson like a fluke. They got the brakes beat off of them 34-3 against Georgia. Is Oregon good enough to beat Georgia? Is Oregon going to be a top 12 team at the end of this? We'll see. I think there's a lot of people that are going to bend themselves into different directions to try to make Oregon into a number 4 team tomorrow. Don't think that's going to be me. Don't think that's going to be me. In a sport where everybody wants to say, RJ, but it's Temple with Oklahoma. RJ, but it's Murray State with Mizzou. RJ, but it's Chattanooga with Tennessee. RJ, but it's Furman with Ole Miss. Idaho was playing toe-to-toe with Oregon. What am I supposed to do with that? Except say maybe Oregon is not that good? I mean, that's what we're left here with, right? We don't get to take these wins at face value. It's not good enough that people just beat the brakes off of other people and run up the score, not meaning to run up the score. I mean, they had 10-minute quarters in the second half of the Arkansas game against UAPB. I don't know what else you're supposed to tell them to do. Jimmy Johnson used to put it right. It's like the backups want to score too. You know, if we got better Jimmys than your Joes, that's your problem. That's not ours. So what am I supposed to take? That Idaho can compete in the Big Ten? I don't think that's what you're doing, because that's not what I'm doing. I looked at an Oregon team that could put up all sorts of yards and couldn't finish. I mean, we're talking about an Oregon team that had a passer in Dylan Gabriel who went for over 360. Could not punch it in. Yeah, if you can't finish against Idaho, how the hell are you going to finish against Ohio State? I understand that Ohio State trailed to Akron by 3. Get out of here, man. I just don't understand that you could expect Oregon to really be this good and somehow make this performance just go away, sweep it under the rug as if it doesn't matter. Nah, man, they all got to matter or none of them matter. They all got to matter or none of them matter. And I realize that we also live in a world where there's so many college football fans that claim to love college football that don't believe in scoreboards, that you win every game, that you should get an opportunity to play for a championship. But even that, this right here is asinine. If you're going to throw out Temple getting beat like a drum by Oklahoma 51-3, but you're going to say that Oregon had an off day because they managed to win a game 24-14 in a game they were supposed to win by 45.5, I can't trust you to tell me nothing. And what's your word worth? What's your integrity worth? Come on now. Everybody want to yank on somebody's card here. Yank on your own. Tell me what you think of Oregon. Tell me how you're going to make Oregon work for you. Tell me how you're going to make a 24-14 win against a team that may not even be in its own conference championship in the FCS. Make that work for me. Tell me how that's good. I don't think you can. You shouldn't need a late interception to beat Idaho. You should name the number against Idaho. If you wanted to score 100 against Idaho, that's what you should be doing. Instead, I got to look at Oregon, and I got to see who they're facing next week in Boise State, and I got to make a judgment on that. Because I don't know if any of y'all are noticing, but it's not just that Maddox Madsen had beaten out Malachi Nelson for the starting job at Boise State. It's that he also sent Taylon Green into the transfer portal to Arkansas. So that's one. Maddox Madsen might actually be a dude. Number two is they got a dude. They got a stone cold dude at Boise State. I didn't make a habit of putting a bunch of group of 5 players in my top 100 superstars that came out last Monday at Fox Sports. Go check that out. But that dude was on the list. And you know why he was on the list? Because that man went for 267 rush yards and 6 TDs against Georgia Southern today. Today. He got his head coach, Spencer Danielson, saying, I don't think I need to say the quiet part out loud, but I will. I got the best player in the country in the backfield for me. And who's to say he doesn't? Who's to say he doesn't? Boise State was the trendy pick to make the college football playoff as the group of 5 representative. I don't know if I'm following with that. But when you're putting up 56 and you got an Ashton Jeanty and they don't, that's something to absolutely crow about. Dirk Cotter knows what he got back there. He ain't going to do nothing but hand that boy the ball. That's what I would do. That's what you would do. I would say, I got AJ and you do not. So I'm going to run him. And I'm going to run him straight at you. And I'm going to make you so sick and tired of AJ that you want to quit. I'm going to have you, your peer has conceded in Ultimate Team. I'm going to have, your peer has been kicked for excessive grieving because I got Ashton Jeanty. All to say, if you give me Ashton Jeanty going for 200 against Oregon, I'm going to give Boise State the win. I don't see you getting off to no damn slow start against Boise State with that boy in the backfield and expect to come from behind. Not with what I saw against Idaho today. How? How, Sway? How? I don't see it. I simply do not see it. I see an Oregon team that better get itself figured out quick, fast, and in a hurry. The fury that you showed last year when Colorado had the audacity to show up to Autzen 3-0, where the hell was that against Idaho today? I would like to know. I would really like to know. Where was the fury that you showed to get yourselves to the Pac-12 championship last year? There's a lot of folks out there in Oregon that be talking all sorts of big. Okay, it's time to go be big. You in the Big Ten, represent. I mean, you got it. You got the number 3 team in the country on the ropes against Idaho. Meanwhile, you have an opponent that can't wait to play you next week because now they feel they got a dude that can run right through you like a hot knife through butter. Tell me how you reconcile that, Ducks fans. Tell me who's to blame for that. I'll believe you. Tell me what you mean when you say, hey, it was not, what had happened was, I don't want to hear none of that. Did you win? Yeah, by 10 points in a game you're supposed to win by 45.5. What's up with this, man? What are we doing? What are we doing, Oregon? Are we just going to be waiting for the Ohio State game to make a judgment, or are we going to do this right now? Because I'm looking at these scores, and I'm seeing Ole Miss going, we're leaving no doubt. I saw Jackson Dart go for 400 yards and 5 tutties in the first damn half. I saw Nico Iamaleava go for 314 in the first half. Set a record at Tennessee for the most passing yards by a quarterback in the first half of football. Hell, I watched Shedeur Sanders go for 445. I watched Jimmy Horn go for 198. What did you do with all this yardage that you put up? You scored 24 points against the Vandals. What am I going to do with that? I can't get jiggy with that. I can't walk into Pinky's Records with that. I'm going to get laughed at. And if you're a Ducks fan and you in here, I would love to know what you're thinking about, dog. You got to go to church tomorrow and you got to talk about, damn, y'all 17-14 Idaho, 5 minutes left to go in the game. Something going on up there. Something y'all want to talk about? Phil Knight not pay the right people? That's what I be doing, man. I be thinking about who got to go to church the next day and get to wear their tie. You're not going to wear your Oregon tie to church tomorrow. Don't lie. Tell the truth. Shame the devil. That's not what you're going to do. You going to put on you a nice blue tie. You're going to wear you a gray suit. You're going to try to blend right in. No, I hope to hell the Washington fan finds you and says, hey, don't walk by me at the greeting line. You come shake my hand. Come on now. Come on now. I need to know. I need you to tell me right here, right now, in the sanctuary, on the way to the pew, what had happened to Dan Lanning? What'd y'all miss? 14-0 at half, 14-7 third, damn near losing to Idaho. Man, get out of here, dog. Get out of here. Now that's one thing, right? Idaho is one thing. Boise State, one thing. Oregon, one thing. Hell, even Fresno State. Giving Michigan the what for and the how now. That's one thing. Getting your behind beat down by Miami for the first time in 22 years at your house. 41-17. Ooh, it's hot over there at Billy Napier's seat. It's hot. Ooh, it's hot. When they hot. I don't know if y'all done seen the socials or whatnot, but Florida fans, they ain't vibing with Napier. They trying to get out their sword, their rapier. They're trying to get out here and let everybody know we're not gonna stand for this, man. They got embarrassed. You got Miami Hurricanes doing the Gator Chomp at the Swamp. You got Cam Ward coming from Washington State. Ugh. Talking about USC was louder. Oregon was louder. Washington was louder. That boy pulled your card. That boy showed up, went for 385 over your dead body, looking like Patrick Mahomes out there, slinging from all sorts of side angles and down angles and finding everybody wide open. Jacoby George over here, Xavier Restrepo over there, Damian Martinez over here, giving you the business. What'd you do? Huh? What'd you do? You scored 17. You scored 17. That's what you did. You scored 17. Billy Napier's buyout is a lot. It's a lot. But you know what? He has lost his last 6. Swamp. He got the toughest schedule in America. He is 11-15 in Gainesville at Swamp. That's a losing record at home. You got stomped out by the private school in Coral Gables. You got stomped out by a transfer quarterback from Washington State and a transfer running back from Oregon State. You got stomped out by Cam McCormick. You got stomped out by Mario Cristobal, the Mr. You don't understand because it's a you thing. The flagship university in the state of Florida. Embarrassed by Miami. All right. Giving up 41, giving up 529 yards of offense. Billy Napier said it was embarrassing. You know what's embarrassing, dog? Graham Mertz getting knocked out of the game when you probably should have been playing DJ Lagway from the jump. I got yelled at for this. I was like, what you mean you go, Graham Mertz is the reason that we get to have a good football team in 2024? You must be crazy. You must be out your mind. DJ Lagway is the future. DJ Lagway is your man's. That's your man. I know that's your man's. But no, I had Florida fans off in here right here on this show trying to tell me I don't know what I'm talking about when the best quarterback in the 2024 class is at Florida, and you're riding with Graham Mertz. You're riding with the dude that got run off from Wisconsin. You know, I don't know that there's a cushier quarterback position in the entire country during the Paul Chryst era than quarterback at Wisconsin. You ain't got to do much and nothing but exist between that moment of taking the snap and handing it to the back, because that's what they gonna do. You know how bad you gotta be at your quarterbacking job to get run out of Wisconsin. But no, when they signed that dude out of Overland Park, the thought was, hey man, that's gonna be Russell Wilson. No, that ain't who that is. So you tried to throw DJ Lagway in there, and then you got a little juice. Imagine that. Imagine the more athletic, more talented quarterback giving your struggling offense a little juice. And it took Graham Mertz being walked to the locker room for you to figure that out. I'm bringing that up because you got to remember what Florida did to go get Billy Napier. And I got to take it all the way back to Urban Meyer leaving there in 2010. Check this out, dog. Urban Meyer leaves. They hire Will Muschamp. They run him off. They hire Jim McElwain. They run him off. Dan Mullins won 30 games in his first 3 years, and they ran him off for Billy Napier. Okay. Add to this, Florida is coming off its third straight losing season. Only happened 1945, 1947. That's the last time that happened. 1945, 1946, 1947. And then 2021, 2022, 2023. I wonder who the head coach was. Okay. Add to this, the last time that Florida had 4 consecutive losing seasons is the Depression, pre-World War II, 1935, 1936, 1937, 1938. We are 9 years from Jackie Robinson breaking the damn color barrier the last time Florida had 4 straight losing seasons. If you don't think that that's going to get him up out the paint real quick, fast, in a hurry, Samford ain't going to help you, dog. A win against Samford, that ain't going to help you. Tennessee is licking their chops. They can't wait to get into you. They cannot wait to get into Florida. They cannot wait to be one of them nails in the coffin that is Florida's season. That's where you at right now. But I say, again, Billy Napier's buyout would be the second highest in the history of college football at $26 million. Now, with a straight face, tell me that Florida ain't got it. Go ahead, lie to me. Lie to my face. Tell me Florida ain't got it, okay? You don't get to just be out here saying that it's embarrassing. Dabo Sweeting gets to say he was embarrassed by Georgia today. You know why he gets to say that? Because he's won 2 national championships in the last 8 years. That's why. That's the only reason why. That is it. Because he had a generational quarterback in Deshaun Watson. He had a generational quarterback in Trevor Lawrence. He is putting out quite possibly the best defense of modern history in 2018. Okay? He's got a head coach at Oklahoma. He's got a head coach in Virginia. He's got receipts. What does Billy Napier have to show at big-time college football? I submit to you, not a damn thing. Not a damn thing. Okay, you want to take credit for Anthony Richardson? Cool. Take credit for a raw quarterback that Indianapolis Colts don't fully trust. Go ahead, do that. You go right ahead, dog. You go right ahead. Shout out to Ricky Pearsall, first-round draft pick, wideout. I understand that he was shot in a robbery attempt today. That's tragic. That's bad news. Also had one of the coolest catches that I've ever seen in my entire life. Cool, take that. I'm also going to look around and go, isn't this the collective that fumbled Jaden Rashada? And that's Jaden Rashada suing the University of Florida and Billy Napier? Isn't this the same Florida that was trying to take money out of Gervin Dexter's back end for the rest of his life? Florida got a whole lot of things they need to figure out quick, fast, in a hurry. At the top of the list is how to win ball games. I don't know that you get to keep talking about what you did in the Urban Meyer era if this is who you are right now. I mean, it wasn't that long ago, or so it seems, because Florida is synonymous with bringing the SEC to life. Remember? Everybody wants to remind me what Urban Meyer did to Oklahoma in 2008. What's Oklahoma doing today? Looks like 1-0, number 16 in the country. Looks like they're fine. Looks like Brent Venables started the 5-star quarterback from Texas, and Billy Napier decided not to start the 5-star quarterback from Texas. These things, sometimes they seem to get away from us. They seem like people that make lots of money are somehow smarter than we are. That's not always true, dog. Matter of fact, you'll be shocked to find out just how disappointing that can sometimes be. Sometimes somebody got lucky. Sometimes somebody was in the right place at the right time. Like, I tend to look at Nick Saban's 2015 staff, and I'm more marveling at who got jobs for what and how. Because right down to the GA in Dan Lanning, you got dudes that became head coaches in short order. Billy Napier's now one of those, right? That's what I'm getting at. But you can also look around and you can make some other judgments about that staff, right? Is Lane Kiffin going to get it done? We'll see. I don't know. You know, is Mel Tucker ever going to get an opportunity to do it again? We'll see. Left Colorado to get to Michigan State. That went how it went. Speaking of Michigan State, they damn near put money in the bag against Florida Atlantic. I'm saying that Billy Napier's got this week to get this figured out. And it needs to have DJ Lagway at the front of it. And you need to figure out how to go get some W's against what many people believe is the toughest schedule of the 21st century. I'm sorry. Damn, them's the breaks. But getting stomped out by Miami 41-17, ain't nobody going to let you slide on that one, dog. Least of all, Florida fans. All right. Let's see if we got something else in the chat before I get to the segment that I think I want to do to bring this home for the night. See who's in here. If y'all got a good question, I promise I will take it. Yeah, all right. Man, everybody got something to say in here. All right. Any question? No, we ain't got no questions in here. We got comments. We got concerns. We got things we're really thinking about. I guess the last thing I would put here is I saw some really cool performances over the weekend. You know, I mentioned Ashton Janty going for 267 on the ground with 6 TDs. I also, now I'm going to catch hell for this, but I'm pointing it out because I think it's cool. In the last 20 years, only 2 FBS quarterbacks have opened their seasons with 400-yard passing performances and 4 TDs back-to-back seasons. Shedeur Sanders did that against Texas Christian last year and against North Dakota State this year. The last quarterback to do that is Patrick Mahomes coming out of Texas Tech. I think that's just damn cool. That's just damn cool. I got to see a Penn State program against a West Virginia program that finally looked explosive for the first time in who knows how long. Andy Kotelnicki dialing it up with 27 seconds left in the first half. Trey Wallace finding it. Drew Allen going, all right, I'm going to check it deep. Nick Singleton going, no, I'm running all the way to the house. That was fun, man. You know what else is fun? Watching Ohio State go down 3-0 against Akron, look all bent out of shape and out of sorts, watching people bend themselves and not going, I still don't think that Will Howard got it. And then everybody agreeing all at once, Jeremiah Smith is him. 6 catches, 96 yards, or 92 yards, 2 TDs. Finally, we're getting to see what everybody was telling us. And that dude's the problem for the next 3 years. That was really cool. I enjoyed that. Watching Nico spin it against Chattanooga, I was mesmerized. Watching Oklahoma State give the number 1 team in FCS, who was riding a 29-game winning streak, a 40-burger. The what for the hell now, while North Dakota State was running through Colorado right till the end, dog. That was fun. That was cool. That was awesome. The game that we're in the middle of when we started the show, watching Notre Dame and Texas A&M go banging on it. Also, the irony of Mo Bamba being played at Kyle Field when A&M is doing something well. Just, do y'all not get the joke there? Do y'all not understand? I understand that Mo Bamba be playing on EA Sports College Football 25. I know it's a banger. I know that that's what we play when we win it. But y'all do know that Mo Bamba went to Texas, right? Yeah, y'all know that, right? Y'all are Texas A&M Aggies playing a banger that is named after a Texas Longhorns basketball player. If that don't fire you up about college football, I don't know what will, dog. Because I would be going to church, giving them maroon and cream or maroon and whites, whatever they call them, ampersand viewers, the business. Talking about, y'all ain't even got no alumni you can play. Call Justin Moore up. Tell him to bait a hook. You know what? No, I tell you what. Go call Roland Martin up. He probably can help you out. He can hook you up. He'll hook you right up. You know what I'm saying? Watching Dominic Lovett throw up the hooks when he went into the end zone against Clemson. That was cool. I got a text from my homie. He's like, wait a second. Dom Lovett is a bruh? You damn right he is. You damn right he is. I was having so much fun with that, dog. I was having so much fun this afternoon watching, bless God, great football. I love this damn sport because it's full of these contradictions. I love watching Ryan Williams show up in what should be his senior year of high school to go for 2 catches, 2 TDs, 139 yards in an absolute destruction of Western Kentucky. Alabama beat Western Kentucky 63-0. That is the best shutout Alabama has pitched since 1973 when they beat Cal 66-0. Damn, that's fun. That is fun. Watching Jalen Milroe go 7 of 9 for 200 yards. Watching Alabama put up 365 yards offense in 21 plays. That was fun, dog. I'm having a great time with that. I really am. The thing that I thought was most fun, though, because I was texting with a buddy of mine because we talk about, who might be front runner for the Broyles Award and whatnot. And on top of the list for me right now is Glenn Schumann, what he was able to do with Georgia against Garrett Riley. And quiet as it is kept, Kirby Smart owns the Riley brothers. He is 2-0 against Garrett Riley, allowing just 10 points in 2 games. And we all know what he did to Lincoln Riley in the Rose Bowl. But the cool part and my wild card for the Broyles Award finalist going into this year, wild card, not where I'm going, but a wild card, you see where I'm going in, is a man who, in the absence of Kirk Ferentz, which is just the chef's kiss, watched his offense go into the halftime locker room down 6-0 to Illinois State, whose mascot is the Redbird, and then come out of said locker room and drop 40. 40. Come out and said, no, I'm Kobe, you the Knicks. Enough is enough. We are tired of RG making jokes about our offense. We are tired of being embarrassed about our offense. Tim Lester has said, nah, I got y'all, dog. I got y'all. Cade McNamara, go spin that thing. Go spin that thing. That man went for 251 passing in the second half. They put up 40 points in the second half. Iowa has put up 40 points just 3 times in the last 3 years. And this was one of them. They put up 492 yards total offense, my guys. They put up 492 yards offense. Last year, Iowa averaged 15 points per game, 129 of 130. They were sorry on offense, just garbage. And as soon as they hit 26 points, I kept going, where's Brian Ferentz? Why y'all couldn't do that for me? He had to be thinking about that. Cade McNamara threw multiple TDs against Illinois State. Its first start 2024. Deacon Hill, who played most every game once Cade McNamara went down with injury last year, never had one game where he threw more than 1 TD pass. He threw 5 TD passes all last year. Cade McNamara said, nope, I know how to run it up, baby. I know how to do that thing that you like, Iowa fans. And the Iowa defense continues to be the damn Iowa defense. They allowed 119 pass yards, 189 total yards, and they sacked Tommy Rittenhouse 4 times. Gave them nothing after the fact. Nothing. God, I was having a good time with that, man. Having so much fun. And I cannot wait to do this again with you next week. If you like the channel, please subscribe to the channel. Tell your friends about the channel. We have gone over 100,000 subscribers. It is a very cool landmark. Can't wait for that play button to get here. It's going to be on prominent display on the set. We will be back later this week, talk more about some college football, probably talk a little bit about LSU, USC. I'll have my top 25 coming out Monday. You'll be able to see it Monday, right? And then we will make it go from there. But already, week 1 in the books. Can't wait to do it again week 2. I will see y'all on the flip side. Deuces.